Host nation Germany thrashed Scotland 5-1 in the opening match of the 2024 Euros. Greek Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis reshuffles his cabinet after a lacklustre showing in Sunday's EU elections. Germany has opened the European Championship with a confidence-boosting 5-1 win over Scotland in Munich. Goals from Florian Wirtz and Jamal Musiala had Germany firmly in control after less than 20 minutes. The first half ended badly for Scotland when defender Ryan Porteous was sent off and Kai Havertz converted the resulting penalty kick. Substitute Niklas Füllkrug scored Germany's fourth goal and Emre Can netted in stoppage time as the hosts recorded the largest margin of victory in the European Championship opener.
Lange gar keine Chance zugelassen, dann leider in Standardsituationen. Aber auch da finde ich ein sehr gutes Zeichen der Mannschaft, dass sie da sauer waren, dass wir ein Gegentor kriegen. Das zeigt so den Hunger, den sie heute hatte. Und ja, wir wissen, dass es nur in Anführungszeichen ein erster Schritt war, aber ein sehr guter und sehr wichtiger, auf den wir aufbauen können.
The day's other match, Hungary v Switzerland, ended in a 0-0 draw. Greek Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis has reshuffled his cabinet after his centre-right New Democracy Party performed worse than expected in Sunday's EU elections. The New Democracy Party easily came first in the June 9th vote, gaining more than 28%, almost twice the opposition Syriza party's 14.9%. But that expanded lead was seen as a lacklustre showing for the governing party, which slid nearly 5% compared to the 2019 elections. Turnout was low, with a record 59% of registered voters abstaining from the polls. Despite a dip in inflation, polls show the top concern for most Greeks is the cost of living, since the pandemic and Russia's war on Ukraine contributed to rising prices. The first meeting of the new cabinet will take place on Saturday.
Like many English coastal communities, Skegness is a seaside resort where the economy continues to struggle.
Yellow 2 and 7, 27.
Immigration remains a key issue, but many are now turning to the Labour Party for answers, while others shift further right.
It's day one, Saturday. Ground campaign begins today.
Nigel Farage's Reform Party is gaining traction among former Conservative voters.
It's time we looked after our own, instead of letting other people come to live on us.
And so you'll be voting for Reform?
Yes, I definitely will.
I think that Reform will take a lot of votes off the Tories, which will probably result in a Labour victory.
And how will you be voting?
Conservative.
In terms of Nigel Farage, does he appeal to you at all?
Mr Farage, I think he's a bit of a, I don't know.
He's a clown.
A clown? I think he's just, oh yes, there's a bit of bravado with him. I beat my chest and, and stuff like that.
Skegness is a typical eastern coastal community, and it mirrors a trend across England's coastline. Once 77% Tory at the last election, it's now leaning Labour. Right-wingers here are handing the seat to Labour by splitting the vote between the Conservatives and Nigel Farage's Reform Party. The most recent poll shows Labour at 45%, the Tories at 22% and Reform at 13%. So is this likely to push the Conservative Party further right beyond the general election?
The future could rest on the success of a now likely Labour government.
When economies don't do very well, it becomes really tempting to make lump sum blame or to find a scapegoat.
Dr. Veronica Lamarche is a social psychologist at the University of Essex who studied British right-wing populism.
I think Nigel Farage can present a really simplistic picture of what the future of Britain could look like. Fundamental to Reform's ideology, people coming into the UK and blaming them for all of the troubles that we see in the country at the moment.
Red Doctor's Orders number 9.
A vote for the Reform Party could give Labour an enormous majority in early July. How the Conservative Party reacts is something Nigel Farage,
Never say die,
is already second-guessing. Luke Hanrahan, Euronews, Skegness.